film fans, I'm Jack Benner, and welcome to my review of Wonder Woman 1984. Wonder Woman 1984 is now the 9th film in the DCEU, as well as a sequel to Wonder Woman, and this sequel is once again directed by Patty Jenkins, starring Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig, and Pedro Pascal. The plot this time is we meet up again with Diana Prince / Wonder Woman, as always played by Gal Gadot, who is now living in 1984 and is still missing Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, who died in the first film, and is suddenly back this time. And with two new villains. One is a shy co-worker of Diana named Barbara, played by Kristen Wiig, who later becomes Cheetah. Second is an oil man named Maxwell Lord, played by Pedro Pascal, who wants more power and wealth when he gets his hands on a magic stone that can grant any wish. Now, my thoughts on the first Wonder Woman? I like it. I definitely thought it was a step up for the DCEU, since I felt like the DCEU wasn't a mess back then. I thought it was well directed by Patty Jenkins. I liked the World War I setting. Gal Gadot proved to be perfect casting with that movie. I really liked Steve Trevor, and as well as the chemistry between Diana Prince and Steve Trevor. However, I don't hate the boss battle, I just find it a little disappointing. And even Patty Jenkins came out and said she originally had something smaller scale for the climax, and that Warner Brothers forced her to put in that boss battle and include Ares at the end. I would have liked to see what she originally had in mind for the climax. And also, I wasn't a fan of the three villains in that film, Ares, Dr. Poison, and General Ludendorff. I couldn't really take them seriously and found them over the top. But I still think it's a good and well-made superhero movie. And I was looking forward to this sequel, and I thought the trailers looked good. It looked like fun, new setting. I'm excited to see Gal Gadot back as Wonder Woman. And after many delays from June, August, October, now Christmas Day, and then Warner Brothers decided to split the theatrical release and HBO Max on streaming, to which I felt like was the best option they could do. And I saw this movie around the beginning of 2021, and now finally time to do a review. What did I think of Wonder Woman 1984? I thought it was a mediocre movie. Yeah. I was really disappointed with this one. Sad to say. First, on the positives, the cast do a good job with what they're given to do. Gal Gadot is still great in the role of Diana Prince / Wonder Woman. She's still got the heroism, the charm, she still works as the character. And I still like Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, although I liked him more in the first movie than in here. And I enjoyed the little fish out of water story in reverse this time. How Steve taught Diana in the first movie, but this time Diana teaches Steve about 1984. And both Gadot and Pine still got good chemistry, although I felt like they had more of a spark in the first movie. But what was my favorite part about this movie was Maxwell Lord, played by Pedro Pascal, aka The Mandalorian, and that season 2 finale, amazing! And I really liked his arc in the film. It actually had me emotionally invested in the film the most. And how at first he may seem like this successful businessman with his motto, life is good, but it can be better. But it turns out he's not really that successful. His business hasn't been doing well, he really wants to provide for his son. And without spoiling anything in the third act, you do get to see where he's coming from. And out of the Wonder Woman villains, I would say he is the one that is above average. And I did enjoy Pedro Pascal's performance in this movie. He was definitely having fun in his role. With this and The Mandalorian, I'm continuing to be impressed by Pedro Pascal. I think he's a great actor. There are some enjoyable action scenes, two of which at the beginning, both at Themyscira with Diana at a young age, followed by a second action scene where Wonder Woman is stopping a jewelry robbery at a mall. And there was also a car chase in Egypt that I thought was well done and entertaining. And Hans Zimmer's musical score is good. There are definitely some good tracks here and there. And that's about where positives end right there. And now, let's get into the negatives. First, how do I describe Wonder Woman 1984 in one word? Boring. I found the story just a dull MacGuffin story, and I just wasn't really invested in anything that much. This movie is so long and so boring, and I was just surprised how bored I was watching this movie. And also, something that surprised me about this movie was that there was barely any Wonder Woman action in this film. Now, I don't mind a main superhero movie not having a lot of screen time in other superhero movies. Iron Man 3, when Tony Stark goes through a great emotional journey in this film. And Robert Downey Jr. is great as always, and I still found the movie fun. The Dark Knight Rises didn't have a lot of Batman in it, but it has an engaging story, thrilling action, great supporting characters, and I absolutely love that movie, even with not that much Batman in it. But here in Wonder Woman 1984, the story is just not that investing, not a lot that is entertaining, and Wonder Woman is barely in it, that I'm kind of just waiting for Wonder Woman to show up next. And another castmate I want to talk about is Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. Now, what did I think of her performance? I thought she did fine. She did a decent job for what she was given to do. I felt like she worked for like the shy, timid coworker, and she did bring her Kristen Wiig-isms here and there. However, when she became evil, I didn't quite buy Kristen Wiig into the role, and I found her a little miscast. But my problem is really more of the character of Cheetah and not really performance. A nervous woman who wishes to be like Diana, to be strong and confident. Maybe it could have been a good opportunity to make her a compelling character, but they didn't really do much with her, not really as fleshed out or as developed as she could have been. And when I saw the trailer when they introduced Cheetah, I wasn't sold, and I thought maybe it'll look better in the actual film. And then I saw the actual film and it didn't impress me either, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw Cheetah, I got flashbacks of cats. Not a good sign. And there was so much green screen in this movie that is just so fake and noticeable, it took me completely out of the movie, and I was just, oh my god, why was there so much green screen in this movie? Overall, despite decent performances from the cast and some enjoyable action here and there, Wonder Woman 1984 is a letdown of a sequel. Both with an uninteresting story and a second act that just drags so much. I wouldn't say this is my least favorite film in the DCEU. I would watch this over Batman v Superman, Justice League, and Suicide Squad, but it's not very high on my ranking. It's definitely mid-tier. Overall, I am going to give Wonder Woman 1984 2.5 stars out of 5, a C+. Probably my most disappointing movie of 2020. I was looking forward to it for most of 2020, but to me it just wasn't worth the wait. Pretty disappointing when compared to the first movie. It just couldn't quite maintain the heart and the excitement the first one had. However, what I felt like could have fixed this movie is a script rewrite with a more engaging story. And I do hope we get better results for a Wonder Woman 3. So what do you guys think of Wonder Woman 1984? Do you agree? Disagree with me? Let me know below. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new here. It really means a lot. I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.